Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another week here for our recap review show of BMF, jumping into episode 6, Homecoming. Lucas and I back week after week doing what we do best, or at least what we feel like we do best. But we have a lot of fun in doing it, and you all can let us know if y'all like it or not. And instantly, everybody, welcome. This is your first time checking this out. Hit the subscribe button. We're here each and every week covering a plethora of shows. And here's one of our favorite in BMF, season 2. Man, as always, when I start off the shows, I got a bunch of announcements. First off, I'm not even going to even play no trickery this weekend. We do have a special guest for this week. We have a special guest for next week. And I'm still trying to fit in more. And we also got so much more content coming in. I'm trying to tell you all, we appreciate if you jump in the comments and show us love, interact with us, because we need your energy. We're tired, folks. We're extremely tired right now. But we love doing this and we love interacting with y'all. So that's why we're here with no sleep for the week. This week, folks, special guest Darnell Rollins, or you may know him as Alvin, who had to apologize to a dog today.
It happens to the best of us, Alvin. Don't worry about it.
Clearly, right? Clearly, right? Anyway, we got a snippet of that interview right now. The interview will be available on the channel after you finish watching this, and you can check it out there. But yeah, let's give you a little clip of that right now.
That when I get a project, it's something that resonates with pop culture. It's something that people like. I mean, The Wire, Chappelle Show, The Corner. It's always a project, and I don't have to be in it a lot. I call myself the Busta Rhymes of acting. Hey. Let me just jump on your album. Spit a quick 16, and then I'm out. Bye. Yeah.
Hey man, that's a all right, folks. We're back here. It's a pleasure to talk to Darnell. I think like this is one of the ones where a little bit overdue for us. I was certainly keeping my eyes out for him for the red carpet. To talk about a character that, like, yes, we give Lamar a lot of praise, but to compliment Lamar in some of these scenes, to add that comedic tone that only further enhances the savageness of a character, it's a unique role to play. It really is. Like, if you have a bad buddy cop film, and I'm not going to name no names, but there's certain people who were once very funny, but after a while, you kind of get tired of it. It's not just a given just because you're like the comedic side piece that it just works. You got to have a good balance. And the fact that you take that and make it like savage, it's craft. I absolutely appreciate his work.
Man. I'm gonna let you go. It feels like a shot there to somebody. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. Last time I said something about not liking a particular person's work, it has nothing to do with the show. Somebody completely different. The YouTube folks was like, how could you not like this show? It's so good. I'm just like, no, it wasn't funny at all, but okay, I'll let y'all have this. And I got called all sorts of different names because, when you black, you have to like everything black. So
everything, we root for everything that's black, even for bad stuff.
Yeah. How many people subscribe to all black? Anywho, we're here talking
Zeus.
BMF.
Zeus. I have a Zeus subscription. I don't know why. I like seeing people fight.
Shout out to Tubi in that commercial for the Super Bowl, by the way, too. You all get major points for that one. Yeah. Major points for that.
Screwed up my whole game. I was so into it, and then that came on. I said, "Oh my God, who hit my YouTube TV?" Like,
I was looking around. I was like, "I know we're not on the Fire Stick today." I'm looking around like, who pressing buttons? Anywho, yeah, folks, we're going to jump into tonight's episode. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about this episode. It's a wild one. It's a lot of horny people. It's a lot of twists and turns. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret here. We have been warned that episode 7 is going to be extremely good. And I have to honestly say it made me overlook episode 6, which this episode has been really good. So
yeah,
I cannot wait. Yeah, I cannot wait for next week for real now. And even after this little break that we had, I like this. Like, listen, we're not going to have week after week. Then y'all better come back swinging. This is the way how you do it. with an episode 6, directed by no other than Ethan Rivera, because of course it would be him. Yeah, who else, right?
Direct the episode. Come on now. That's Mr. Universe at this point, Jeff.
Absolutely. But Meech and Terry are back from Detroit. back to Detroit from Atlanta. Now they got the new product, the new technique, and it's time for them to, make a name for BMF, not just by the collection of who they are, but like actually because they got something that ain't been seen around here. And also we have Meech linking up with Sterling and the PA boys they're trying to at least touch Lamar, because right now Lamar looking extremely untouchable.
Extremely like Thanos.
Yeah, just blinking around everywhere, like for real. So yeah, but as I mentioned, we'll get into it. But like, yes, check out the entire interview with Donnell Rollins on the channel. After you finish watching this, we got more content with BMF next week, and I'm gonna try to fit some more things in. And then y'all should already know, as I said, we got a lot of other things coming. And if you just have any sense of the shows that are on the way, we are already in the mix with the coverage for these shows. So I'm excited and tired, but I know you all should be excited because yes, we're gonna have all that for you. There's a lot of interesting. I'll make the reference later when we get to it, as we have a universal character on here.
Through sick voices and all, as you'll be able to tell when you see some of those later reviews. we push through everything here at Big Gold Belt.
Got to. Anyway, so Meech and Terry, listen, they're trying to set a trap for Lamar now that they're back, and obviously because Lamar showed up on mom's doorsteps, which is an absolute no. But again, I mean, like, listen, I ain't no street dude, but I do know a couple of street laws, and like, you don't touch the church, you don't touch the moms, you don't touch the kids. So Lamar just let you know that he's just that savage. And like, granted, on the other end of this, you're just like, how are you so connected with all these folks and y'all even allowed that to happen? So I was a little like, they're kind of casual about like, we need to find Lamar. I think my anger would have been a little bit more different here. I think it would have been a little bit more like, so y'all just gonna let this happen? Like, y'all knew what was up. We got out of town. Y'all, there's one place y'all should have been watching. It should have been that house. It's an unsaid rule. Y'all know what it is here. And I think even if you think going later to what Meech did for B Mickey and his mother, is kind of like, nah, I love you, dude, but like, you already know what it is. Like, I got you, period. But what was just your thoughts about just the kind of set up the conflict of this episode? Now that the boys are back, they're after Lamar and they're trying to devise a plan, but ultimately we're seeing how everything's kind of shuffled right now.
Well, first I thought maybe they didn't protect the home because Lucille had the knife of destiny that can just pop up at any given time in any pocket and she'll be perfectly safe. So I thought,
which wasn't in her pocket, by her way. They let you know that.
They swear it wasn't.
I told you it wasn't
for a reason.
No, that joke was not
for a reason.
I know she was looking for it. She left it. Yeah, she was looking for it.
And listen, this had a knife in their apron.
Listen, this is not Tubi, bro. That joint ain't just going to appear in the left pocket and she's searching the right.
Y'all can't say that. And Russell ended up in 4 rooms at one time in an episode. We're not going to say that. But I think I like this episode because of 2 things. 1, because of Cash Doll. And 2, because of the pursuit of Lamar. And we see them scrambling because we haven't seen them do that yet. Where they're kind of at a loss of exactly how to attack somebody. Because it's kind of great in these type of shows where you see the big bad is just evading every way, shape, form, or fashion of you attacking him. I hate to do the comparison because it's the obvious comparison that most people see, but it truly reminded me of The Wire when they was looking for Omar, and it was just like, you don't know where he's going to pop up at, what he's going to do, and how he's going to do it. You can be prepared for it, but he'll still catch you out the blue. That's the way they portray Lamar here, just in a more sinister way. And I love that approach to it. And I say sinister because in the end, Omar still was looked at as the good guy of it all by most people. That ain't the case with Lamar. You fully understand. Like, he's out to kill as many people as humanly possible because this is his game. This is how he feels he needs to control the streets. And in turn, you see Meech and Terry scrambling, finding ways to stop Lamar, even having a partner with other people to stop one man. Like, that's one thing we got to keep in mind here. This is not like Lamar's crew as we saw in season 1 at one point in time. This is just one man. And the point you have to get an entire crew to help you stop
the
one
Street
man.
Avengers.
Exactly. You see just how powerful, how much on lock Lamar has everything. That's what I loved in this episode. Even when Meech and Terry break it up, they like, man, Lamar has everything on lock. Like he has the streets on lock. And even down to Meech being told, like, hey, if you're gonna go after a street dude, you can't come at him in the normal way you would a street dude because he'll already know that. You're gonna have to find a different angle here. And that's what I'm looking forward to because here you're seeing Meech's mind move. You see him trying to put pieces together, things in place to help counteract what Lamar can do. And that's something we haven't seen on this show so far. We haven't seen the thinking part of Meech as much as we have on other shows. Yeah. He's always reacting instead of like just saying, okay, instead of me reacting to what he's doing, let's set him up. Let's come up with a plan where we can alleviate the damage that he can do.
Yeah, Cash Doll's Monique plays a very important part in this episode, so I'll wait till we get there. And also just to kind of add a little bit more sprinkle to what you said, you talk about The Wire. Listen, there's absolutely no reason why somebody should not try to pull inspiration or pay homage to the classic show. So, we can try to connect that, but it's not a stretch at all. It's absolutely what it is. It absolutely was like everybody said. Every young filmmaker or whoever, or even somebody in their prime, has looked at something else for inspiration. And the moment they get the opportunity, they want to do it. It doesn't even matter if it fits in the genre or the means or whatever it is. They're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to emulate that to some extent. And you even hear every actor. I mean, art is imitation. So there we go. And that's just another thing.
That's the key part.
Yeah.
But dude, and let me just say this, especially for this show, but they put a spin on it that you haven't seen. And that's the key part of it. It's you can take inspiration from anything humanly possible, but the goal is when you do it, put a spin on it that is not the norm that people are accustomed to seeing. And that's what you get out of Lamar. Because in the end, yes, we've seen the crazy character before, but he's a crazy smart character. Like this is not someone who's just going off of the rails and just killing everybody with what seems like no plan in place. Like if I took other inspiration, it would almost be the Joker from the Dark Knight. Like,
I literally was thinking that
complete plan. He has a complete plan and he's executing it to a T right now.
But also again, you're no criticism to what you're saying, but you're dancing around it again. Why not emulate Heath Ledger's?
Oh no, you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't at all.
Yeah, but I mean, like instead of seeing prints of it, it truly feels like they said we're going to make him the Black Joker, and I don't want to frame things like the Black this and the Black that, Black History Month, folks. But no, you can absolutely say that. Like, yo, when you think about some of the most ruthless people of villains, you Omar is one. Then you think like, but we don't want to just do Omar. So who else can we do?
Inspiration from this character.
Yeah, this is okay. It's probably somebody's like, oh, well, you want to do like Al Pacino or something? Like, no, I don't want to do that. Like,
no,
how about the Joker?
There too, though.
Oh, for sure. Like,
again, I mean, the Joker was formed off of inspiration from Clockwork Orange and all these other movies. It's not like it's an original character here, people. It's just great to see a show led by Black actors where they're saying we can take these inspirations. We don't feel the pressure to make this character all anew. It's like, nah, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But damn it, if we can't come up with this amazing character in this world that everyone would fear at the same time respect.
They
can give him a touch of little dog like John Wick at the end. It's great.
I'm so glad Lamar is in season 2. I mean, and granted, like I do want more K9, but granted, like the fact that you get 2 of these characters, and as we'll talk about K9 a little bit later, just to think, what if we didn't have Lamar? Like such a main pivotal character here, and adding K9 just makes like the blows from this show come from any direction here. Like I'm really enjoying it. I'll talk about some more characters later. Anyway, they said the Flannery boys on the street sending a message. This is Alvin talking to Lamar. And anyway, now we get Meech back at the shop. Talking about everybody's MIA. Talking about B Mickey got a new plug and holding it strong and whatnot. Saki, for whatever reason, played by Little Zane, has to use the bathroom and goes outside of a place that I'm sure has a bathroom inside.
It's the 80s, man. It was the late 80s. You peed everywhere. It didn't matter where.
Clearly. And in all white, he gets hit by the shotty to the body. And that's just what it is. Lamar comes back and sends a message, as he says, he likes it direct, and this was definitely that. He came on turf, hit him twice with the pump, and was out. And rest in peace, Saki. First of all, we got a chance to talk to Lil Zane last season. You know, I'm gonna call it what it is. Like, Lil Zane, somebody music listened to growing up, and seeing him on the big screen and seeing how and what they're brought to be. I started to make comparisons to another character. I'm not going to do all comparisons today, but it reminded me of another character. But I was absolutely intrigued, and I just didn't see, obviously because they haven't put out a lot of music recently, but like just to see somebody who you can say like, oh yeah, they were you know, somebody who played a prominent part in a certain era of music, and then that's just it. But coming back on the show, and bringing a character that caused nothing but frustrations for the Flannery brothers, but was loyal. He had some good scenes, you know. He also took a couple of beatings, and you know, him getting shot like this, somebody who was completely loyal the entire time, I think is a good arc. I could honestly say I could want more, but overall, for a supporting character, I definitely enjoyed Saki and what Lil Zane brought to the show. Next, we got Detective Brian and Detective Jen on the scene, because why not? Of course, they're everywhere talking about Thanos. I mean, if they don't got the space gem, like they're just teleporting, they're just everywhere, you know. I can't get enough of Kelly Hu though. I take Kelly Hu every scene.
Every time she get on screen, I don't care if she just magically pops up at the Fennery house, sitting at Mama's dinner table, and she cook up carrots or something, Joe.
Yeah,
just have her there. We perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. I love this scene because one, you have two amazing actors in both of our detectives here, working with two actors who are really coming into their own with Da Vinci and Lil Meech, and just the fact that they construct the scene like this and you just can't do nothing but laugh. I don't even have any quotables in my notes because I just laughed the entire time. But I do got the one because I said I wasn't going to forget this because I love good sarcasm, and you know, they say, oh well, we know they ain't gonna say nothing, and we know that one ain't see shit. And he talking about
that was the funniest line in this movie, in this show. He said, well, we know you ain't see shit.
What can you say, man? Steve is having the time of his life right now, and honestly, Steve and Kelly, if we get somehow a spinoff of Detective Brian and Detective Jen, I'll be all for that. And if we don't, please, I don't know how longer. I mean, they're talking about expanding the BMF universe. Yeah. Do not run to the finish line. Let's trot around the track as slow as we can here, because we know what the story is. So that means once the detective get their people, then that's it. I want so much more of not only their banter and their, shall we say, uncomfortability at time, because it's a little uncertainty with one another, but then things got a little spicy. I got questions. I got questions here. And envy. I got envy too, you know?
I'm about to say, it's amazing what happens when you're on a stakeout and other things is happening at the same time. You know, you get a little hot and bothered. It can happen. It can happen that way.
Clearly, through all the professionalism out of there. But we'll talk about that scene for real, because I know, like, one, there's going to be a lot. First of all, this episode is going to be a content creator's absolute dream. There's so many things that folks are going to pull for this. And I want to give a quick shout out, because I've been constantly watching a particular person's Instagram, and I keep forgetting to credit them. But Lou Young, who does the Lucille and Charles reenactments on IG, is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I know the content he's going to get from this episode is going to last him a very, very, very
all he got to do is the dinner table the dinner table scene between them two.
I finally could take you to dinner now. He gonna have a good old time with that. And the scene and how he smacks her butt. Oh my God. Hey man, listen. We might need to get him on the show, man.
All he need to do is the scene when she said, well, once this go away, maybe you could get in it. I was like, oh shit now. What's happening at this dinner table?
Hey, we might I might have to reach out to him, man. I don't know if this is his bread and butter. I know he makes good content, but like I would love for him to get to talk about the construction that. And honestly, he needs to get his flowers because like the folks that's the actors, they see his work. And you know, talking to Miko now 2 weeks ago, she talked about it. She's like, oh, I see it, and like I just bust out laughing, like it's so funny and how quick people be on it and whatnot. So you know, good work, man. Gotta support these folks out here. Anyway, getting back to the show, Lamar just randomly walking around the street sees a dog that's being neglected, and not only does he beat this dog for a dog that's not his, but Peter probably would love this. I mean, does this make Lamar a good guy here? Because he saved the dog. I mean,
like one of them little dog save the dog commercials with the Sarah McLachlan song playing in the background.
Yeah,
I will remember you.
He said, fuck this 5 cent.
I want the whole dog, Joe.
Yep, he wants the whole dog. So he gets his dog Blackie because every hood dude needs a pit. And then to further solidify his shall I say his unhingedness, he Mike Tyson's this dude. How gross can this dude be? I mean, after the sack earlier, which I can smell from watching the episode.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, listen, after that, I don't know how y'all eat any like those little like popsicles or yogurts that come out of those things.
Little yogurts.
Yep. Just remember how Lamar was short.
If you're a grown man eating a Go-Gurt, we have other issues with you putting things of that shape. Like, no.
He just like,
but
stroked the whole joint out.
Yes.
I was like, okay. But yeah, he gets his dog Blackie. And like while this does seem random in the beginning, he does explain the connection to it. They're really humanizing Lamar, and I don't think it's for us to like get sympathy for him, but I think it does create this uncomfortable yet uneasiness with him. You have to expect the unexpected because you just don't know what direction this dude is going to go. Granted, he goes see Monique after her not I'm about to call it ballet, probably Pilates or any type of workout or whatever
they did in the 80s.
Yeah,
the Jane Fonda jumps, because that's I don't know what y'all did in the 80s. Man, it wasn't yoga or Pilates though, not in Detroit.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you can easily at that moment say like, oh well, shit, what is he about to do to her? But like now he's like, hey, I got my dog. And by the way, you know, I felt connected to the dog because like when I was in foster care, and like I you know, we're the underdogs here, so I had to get Blackie, and I wanted you to meet him. My man showed up like, yeah, this my son right here. Like I need you to meet him.
It's the proud moment that you see of him, where he gets to show a woman he absolutely still loves. Like, look, I rescued me, because that's the correlation between the two. Yeah. I rescued me. Like, you know, don't look at him. He may have scars. He may have these issues. He may seem like a monster, but he's not a monster. He's just not been loved. It's the connection of Lamar saying almost the exact same thing. Like, I may seem like a monster. I may have these scars. I may have this past, but you know, in the end, if somebody was there just to love me, I'll be fine. Like I'll always be there for you. It's that type of correlation with Lamar and a dog, and that's what makes it a cool thing. And you kind of point out, we say every hood dude needs a pit bull. It's normally because hood dudes relate to pit bulls, and that's the correlation you get with Lamar and his dog.
Fair enough.
And that's why he named Blackie, and Lamar's black.
Oh, but go ahead. I mean,
you were right there.
Okay, cool. You was just coloring right in the lines. I saw the picture coming out, and you just scribbled right out of that joint. He black, so that was a Black History Month placement right there. They just wanted to, you know, in celebration. Yeah. Wow. So we get Meech. What do we got, Meech? I don't know. Meech chatting about something. Anywho, Jen.
He said Meech chatting about something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of just little stuff happening in the beginning, but we got Jen looking at Brian, which we'll talk about a little bit, but like she's suspicious of Brian because he looks suspicious. B Mickey is clearly having a dream, as B Mickey is in a dream talking to his unborn child and baby Mickey, and then being woken up by a gun pointed at him. We didn't actually get to see Kato, but obviously we know that's what it was. And the only reason I'm even mentioning that because if we was able to get her name is slipping out of my head, but we was able to get a scene with her, then why not? You know, everybody that she gets a check, you know. Anywho, yep. But anywho, so yeah, he wakes up and there's that. Meech walks in, look and say was looking for him because you've been MIA. But you know, when Meech shows up, it shows up like he's about to go off, but he does have this mischievous, informative sort of mentality of like, I just need to know what's happening, sort of thing. And then, you know, he says that, like, you good, man? He's like, a dream, you acting all off. He's like, oh, you still tripping off of Kato, that rap bitch? He's like, well, it's my baby mom. Okay, so what's important about this conversation is this is sort of the nail in the coffin here for B Mickey about how he feels with Meech. I mean, he felt like he just completely disregarded his feelings for him. Yes, we get the circumstances, but also it's like, but that was my baby mom and I unborn child or whatnot. But anyway, he said, man, listen, I'm sorry about that, but completely, I ain't gonna say dismissively, but he did just completely change the subject.
He dismissed the hell out of him. Like, man,
okay.
I'm sorry she did, but back
we got this new connect.
Bigger business.
We got this connect,
bro.
So he said we got
that rat bitch no more. She gone.
Yeah,
like, it's basically that's the correlation. But weirdly, I like this scene a lot because it comes across, in all honesty, like two brothers having a conversation.
Absolutely.
That's even Meech walking in like, oh man, I just want to check up on you. That's what annoying brothers do. They just walk up, man. I just here to check up on you. You all right? And then you tell them some sad shit, and you're like, man, fuck that bitch. Let's get on the business. Like it's that correlation, but it's Meech not understanding him talking that way. Is B Mickey taking it so personal?
Absolutely.
That he's even bringing that up that way.
Absolutely. But yeah, he talked about Ty Washington and having that connect locked in. And then he said, like, listen, man, y'all did all this, y'all got out of town, and like you didn't say anything. He says, like, no call, no message. He says, listen, we had to get out of town ASAP. You know what it was? I don't use cell phones, but he tries to dap him. B Mickey's like, nah. But you know, and I think like as we look at this in full circle, Meech at this moment knew he was wrong. One, because he could have said something. Yeah, he doesn't use cell phone, but he did talk to his baby mom while he was in Atlanta. Oh no, he talked to Monique. Yeah. So you use cell phone, you just wasn't. I mean, and granted,
well, not cell phones, but phones.
Right. But like, granted, like, he has a wireless phone. Yep, they got the long.
Called on the payphone though, didn't it?
Nah, he got the wireless. He got the wireless joint. Yeah, I
know. Zach Morris joint.
Yes, he got the wireless. I took a picture with the prop, so that's how I know they got the wireless. But but the point is, like, if his point is saying like, oh, I don't talk business over the phone, well, that I mean, this is a small tidbit, but it's true to his character. Because
I'm about to say that's the first thing I picked up on, because that's clearly what he is known not to do.
Yeah.
Meech don't talk over the phone, and he definitely don't talk business over the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So Terry, and he's sleeping. LaWanda comes in and steals his belt, and I'm like, "What?
I didn't know where was this? I didn't know where this was going.
I still don't know where this is going. Honestly,
well, she got his belt. She got some socks.
The car,
she got a jacket,
the clothes, the jewelry. I want it all.
Either she's setting him up, or it's some type of voodoo. I don't know which one it is.
I literally said that. I said voodoo. Yeah, but I'm like, either they're trying to make some money or it's voodoo. Because I'm like, you're not getting DNA off a belt. But I was like, the brush, okay. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I figured like, what I think it is exactly the it's not 112. Is it Escape or is it who sings that song that says they want it all? When they break up with the girl and they want everything back. I just was singing it. I'm not saying
breaks up with the girl and they want everything. I'm about to nigga did hit a note. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was just singing it. Nigga, hit a note.
Oh, wait. Is it Warren G? Hold on. I'm looking it up real quick. I got them.
On the song Warren G, I know Warren G really is Regulate. I ain't gonna lie to you. He had a little bounce jump in like 96 or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, they about to get me in the comments. He ain't taking nothing back. He talking about what he want. He said, I want it all. The money, the fast cars, diamond rings, gold chain, champagne. Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, you threw me off completely.
Yeah. But in switching that, like she did come in like she was playing repo game. Like, I'm taking the belt.
I didn't know what was going on.
It's weird, but instead of me guessing here, y'all can let us know in the comments. What do y'all
And it was
think?
the mama's look at the end. Well, she said, you know what you got to do. And I'm thinking like, oh, just some voodoo type stuff.
No,
like that's the only thing I can think of. Or setup. Because hairbrush is DNA. You leave certain things around, like, you know.
Ooh. And then, I mean, granted, the fact that what Detective Jen suggested about the relationship, how they can count, it's coincidental, but it wouldn't happen. It's going to be something, but y'all can let us know in the comments. Like, I won't. And anyway, Warren G in his song, like, whatever. It's funny you say you only know Warren G. So I think at this moment we're gonna have a good old time getting roasted in the comments here.
Hey,
anywho,
nah, can't nobody roast me that was born after Warren G came out. I was there when it came out. He had Regulate. That's the only joke. It's one more song people know, but most people hear Warren G, you think of Regulate with him and Nate Dogg. Don't come after me talking the random ass Warren G songs that don't nobody know but you and your homies.
But Lawanda's mad because he's back in the game, and he said, "I don't want our family to never be a part of the game." Did not believe anything she was saying here. It says, "Let's take a family photo to remember the occasion, commemorate the occasion." What?
We used back in the day, Sears every time, you know.
What's the occasion that he's back in the game, but she doesn't want him back in the game? I'm confused.
The family's back. The family's back together.
Yeah, okay, fine. All right.
Yeah, they're back under one roof again. You know, you go to Sears now. Take the pictures.
Fair. Okay. Brian and Jen. Jen wants to know why you're arguing with Smitty. Are you dirty like they say you are? You need to be 100, which has been her constant theme and message to them. You need to be 100 because you're hiding something. Dee said, "Look, I took 2 bricks out of evidence to bust Meech. We need to win." She said, "Cool, let's make it happen." Now, while this is obviously we see how this plays out in the episode, Jen pushes him to be more upfront about and transparent. Yeah. And there's still more we need to know about Jen, as we've seen her have some really difficult moments alone. Like in episode 3. And I think in this episode, we also get another indication of just her being alone and any emotions of her being alone. So yeah, anywho, Meech shows up at the party. He has the mink on, you know, he's big time now. It's Soul Night. And I saw this cameo in one of the trailers and I was like, wait, the what? But I figured it all out. And folks, y'all can add some commentary in the comments here. We get Jalen Rose making an appearance here. And the first thing you think is obviously by the conversations that he's having with Meech. His name isn't really revealed. I checked it out in the credits. But he's a ball player. And he's like, listen, like this is how I operate because I'm a street dude. I got the money. I don't need to check in with my agent or anything, but you got to do that, you know? So making it different. And obviously the conversation here is a lot of what we talked about season 1. Ball players want to be hood dudes. Hood dudes want to be
ball players.
And then you got music. You got people in the music and the whole trifecta here, you know?
Yeah.
But Jalen Rose is playing a character, Tariq, who is not a ball player, which to me, it was easy to really figure this out without even searching. This is a composite of Jalen Rose because Jalen Rose was very adamant in season 1 about how much BMF meant to him and how close he knows Terry and Meech and familiar with them on a personal level, him coming from Detroit. And so why not give him a cameo in here, towering everybody? I mean, if Jalen is 6'7",
8, 6'8", 6'8", 6'9". So he would literally tower over most people because Meech is all about 5'4".
Yeah.
So and plus he's one of Detroit's favorite sons. Like, this is a dude who made it from Detroit, came back, established a school that's taking care of kids in Detroit. Like, you don't get stories like that every day. So, hey, man, and he knew Meech and Terry. Perfect. Yeah. Man, we clearly got something for you to do in this joint, even if it's a little cameo.
And honestly, like, I'm sure Jalen, I've only heard him talk about this maybe a few times, but I'm sure Jalen probably thinks about his life and thinking how he easily could have been one of them. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. I'm sure one of them could have easily could have been him.
Said he was in the neighborhoods where, you know, he dabbled in certain stuff, but, you know, back in the day, if you in the streets and you see a little dude that has potential to do something else,
everybody boost him up.
Yeah, you ain't coming nowhere near this, man.
Yeah,
take your ass home. Like,
that is a fact.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah. I'll say it all the time. I ain't no street dude, but I was around it, and I'm telling you that level of envy of seeing how the street dudes protected the chosen athletes is an envy I would never forget in my life.
But it's not even just chosen athletes. It was like little dudes who were good at school. Like, you would check up on them, like, man, you doing good at school here?
Oh,
I'm gonna hit you off with something. Go get you whatever you need. But hey, don't let me be around here too late at night because I already know what you're doing. I find out you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
something gonna happen to the person who put you in that predicament.
Yeah, so like I got that treatment, but like still, it's like you live the right and narrow life and make us proud, or we're gonna beat your ass. The athletes are.
Yep.
We're gonna protect you by all means, and you got to put the hood on your back. You got to make this happen.
You got to be the one out of here, Joe. It's only if it's only one of us, it need to only be one of us. But we ain't gonna let you side. We're not going to live by this route. I think that's when this really became predominant. It's like, hey, we're not going that route, dog. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from this dude. Stay away from them hoods.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're supposed to be doing.
It's boosters, just without an institution.
There you go. It's boosters for the hood.
Yeah, boosters for the hood. Anyway, within the party, it kind of felt like Vegas here. We had a couple of hoods fighting, fight night, Tyson fight, Tupac. You know, folks coming around, a little bit of beef, and the fighting style and whatnot. People get kicked out, obviously not with the fatality, but here we get the PA dudes, and Meech fighting alongside of him, and he jumps in, and they fought the 6 Miles dudes, and this is how the PA dudes and Meech get on the same page. Charles back at home getting a haircut, Terry cutting his hair, asking about Atlanta. Lucille, a knock at the door, have no clue why Lucille's even opening doors still. Exactly. With 2 men in the house, but it's okay. We'll let it go. But Mr. Ryan comes in. He helps. He tries to help Terry get back in school. And just to cut all this down, Terry's done with school here. And he says, like, I'm a businessman. We're a businessman. We'll have a corporation that's one day going to be legit. Foreshadowing, Charles says, you're either going to die and be in jail. And we finally get a call at the opening theme song. He says, listen, just do us a favor, mom and dad, just wish us luck. And that scene that's the scene when you said, like, we got some amazing writers because they did the
correlation
thing. Yeah,
they did the thing. Correlate your theme song to it. That's all you gotta do. I mean, I was having questions when Charles said, hey, how was Atlanta? Nigga, we didn't go down there to visit. You know, I swear. Listen, let me tell you, if anybody has a problem with this scene, let me just tell you that Charles' mind is above everything that's happening right now. After my man got some cheeks, he just on a whole new atmosphere right there. He don't care. He don't care about. He don't care how his haircut look. He don't care about anything right now. He's like, when I'm striking again. He care how that haircut look because the haircut is getting him the cootie. But he don't care about that now because I asked him, oh man, how was Atlanta? Oh, it was good, Dad. We went down there, got some drugs, and we came back here. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Make sure that line up straight though.
Oh man. Meech goes to see Monique, and drops her off money for the kids and for the Denise thing. And this is, as you mentioned earlier, Monique saying, listen, if you're going to touch Lamar, you can't come at him with street logic. He's a street dude. Nope. Got to try something unique. Lamar with Blackie back at the apartment, eating Alvin's Hungry Man meals, one for the dog, one for him. And rightfully so, Alvin responds in the way he should, but instead he was asked or told, checked to apologize to Blackie. He said, before I beat your ass and feed you to him. And he apologized. Charles.
Can I ask this one question for this whole thing?
Yeah.
Lamar has money. Why are they eating Hungry Man meals? Like,
listen.
Come on, man.
There's some very good people out here still eating oodles and noodles. Okay, so.
And God bless y'all. God bless y'all. I don't know why
high sodium and all.
Yourselves. Exactly. I don't know why y'all doing that to yourselves, but hey, by all means. But a Hungry Man. That's all I was thinking about. Lamar got money. Like, there's no need. No, it's a Hungry Man meal. Just like $1 and something. I'm assuming. I think he could buy you another one. You'd be fine. Albert was just in his feelings because that damn dog was in his house. That's what it was. He didn't want to say it. He's like, what the fuck is this dog doing in here? And you feeding them human food. Even though if you black and you got a pit bull, you all know, nigga, you eat what we eat. If we got chicken and rice, you having chicken and rice. And you better finish your plate, just like any other black kid, or you gonna eat.
Oh, you ain't leaving that table
for breakfast.
Jeez. Oh, the trauma. Charles and Lucille, and you know, they're sort of affirmation and whatnot. Like, listen, baby, it's gonna be okay. We said we're gonna handle this together. And this is definitely, as you mentioned, the table scene. Yeah, this is the one that's gonna go viral for sure. Believe that.
And the best line of it. Oh, I'm not cheating on you with her.
No, not this. It's not yet. Not yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, this ain't this still in the house yet, because this is when Charles lets her know, like, now go put on your best dress. Now, granted, I hate this line because it's good, but it's not great. Because he should have said, now go put on Sunday's best for your boy right now, because I'm taking you out. But this day he said, put on your best dress. But best is like a B, but Sunday's best is like an A tier plus. Like,
no. See, I don't want you to put on your Sunday's best because you may be putting it on for the Lord. I want you to put on your best though. I need you to put on that hoochie dress for me so we can go out and eat. Don't you come to dinner with me on a Saturday night dressed like you going to see the Lord Sunday morning. I don't want none of that.
Listen, Sister Riley can't tell a difference.
That's Sister Riley.
Pray for our Sister Riley.
There you go.
She don't know what she did.
You don't know what you do.
But honestly, it's what I thought was going to be interesting here is Lucille saying she didn't want to do it at first, and I was like, oh, you worked so hard to get this chemistry back together, and you already starting turmoil. But she says, well, now that you put it like that, I guess I will, and smacks her butt, and she gets ready. Meech talks about the PA is going to help. B Mickey now having a medical grade shit as part of the connect. Now them knowing about Nikki having a job at the salon, and light bulbs went off. They go to the salon so he can get his nails buffed. I never knew that was the term that you used about getting your nails done, but buffed?
No. It's a buffing. It depends on 2023. You don't get your nails buffed anymore. But back in the day, instead of you didn't get the polish. You just get them Jones buff. It's the same shine that you put on your nails.
Okay.
That's back in that day. Back in the day, that's what you used to do. Yeah.
Okay, so Meech talks to the salon owner and said, how long you been owning this place? He said, listen, I got some business for you. Let's talk and whatnot. Obviously, we already knew what's going on here. Listen, just not new. We see all the salons always being used for these reasons.
If you have a salon and you black, wow, that's about to sound wildly racist. But it was a chance in certain neighborhoods that, you dabble a little bit and, you help the neighborhood pushers out.
Yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with that. You gonna help your salon gonna thrive. Y'all gonna get new booths, everything. Like everything's gonna be new. Y'all gonna be great. Y'all gonna have the latest Cheryl Pepsi Riley tape because it's in the 80s. Like everything's gonna be great. So it made sense to play it this role. I just love his sister reaction to it, like it was her shop.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We get Jen and Detective Bryant again, and they're now following Terry, who ran the stop sign in the rain, and obviously he ran it too, as Jen said. But anyway, they're picking up Markeisha and the kids because they're out in the rain. Boom, put her out and accused her of spending the money. They get a hotel because he can't go back to mom and pop's house for a couple of reasons. It probably wouldn't be a good look anyway. But anyway, they get there and she starts talking about like her dreams and whatnot, security and wanting to be in Miami in the house and whatnot. And he says, I hope I can make all the dreams come true. And he says, let me go grab a few things. I had no clue what this was going to be, but we'll talk about that in a second. And to find out that we have a cultured brother because Terry out here knowing some Spanish. Now, we're just gonna let that go because for the sake of the show, we're just gonna let that go. Because there's no way. I mean, honestly, if I ever met Terry Flannery, first question I'm asking was like, "Well, how much Spanish do you really know, sir?"
Hey, you never know. Back in the 80s, let me tell you though. Back in this time, 80s and early mid 90s, every brother knew a little bit of Spanish, just enough to try to get the cheeks. But past that, you knew nothing else.
Anywho, dinner's happening, and as Charles said, finally get to take you out as promised. My man is feeling himself. But anyway, Lucille admits that she thought she was having an affair. He was having an affair with Sister Riley, and he was where'd you get an idea like that? He said, "Oh, it's the dirty magazines and all." He's like, "That's crazy." Anyway, I know you are a good and faithful husband. First of all, as I mentioned, Lou Young on IG, he is loading up for this scene right here. I know it. They're talking dirty to one another, but he says, "Baby, I want you to know." And I was like, "There's no way he's about to be honest." Did you think he's gonna be honest here? No,
not
yes?
a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell was gonna be honest here. But I love the way he said this. I'm definitely not cheating on you with Sister Riley.
I'm dedicated to you. Yep.
You.
Jeez.
Didn't mention the other one that I'm actually cheating with, but just understand, Sister Riley ain't it. That ain't the one.
Yep. Jeez. This is the best scene of the episode here. And this is Terry coming back to the hotel with the Sega Genesis and pizza. This is a win for the kids.
Was that the old school the old school foot-long pizza they used to have? Because the pizza box looked huge as a motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I
remember them jokes as a kid.
Yep, this is exactly that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it even was like a promotional thing for them to be sold like that. Where if you like that was like their advertisement with one another. But anywho, this is so funny. So she's obviously happy because she brings something back to the kids, and they start to make out. But like, I'm like, wait, the kids are here. It's like, oh, they're in the bath. I'm like, wait a minute. So I had a couple of thoughts here. I was like, so you got these kids that's in the bath, just the dangers of that, but it's okay. Oh, no problem. And how long? Yeah, right. But how long they gonna be in there then? And
like 30
then
minutes.
Okay, cool. And wait a minute, were parents really doing this shit? Like getting a bath and I'll see you in an hour?
Wait. Did you say were parents doing it as in not doing it now? Nigga, if I put you in a tub with a toy, oh nigga, I got at least 30 minutes. I got at least 30 minutes, Joe.
Oh man, I'll tell you this. The dangers of drowning, bro. I just don't know if I would.
Kids didn't drown in the 90s. That's what parents thought. Kids didn't drown in the 90s, Joe.
Anywho, we got Peeping Tom, Jen, and Detective Bryant surveillancing them having sex and calling commentary as if they are Peyton Manning and Eli Manning calling the game. Like the shit is so awkward. And obviously none of this can go into surveillance or evidence. It's for what?
Their conversation couldn't. But there's no need to. I don't need play-by-play of. Yeah, as he said, damn, somebody hungry.
Yeah, I mean, like it go from like I thought the kids were in there, like I thought someone's hungry, and he's like, oh, somebody can handle the big joint, and he was just like, yeah, size doesn't matter. I'm like, and here we go, all the dirty talk has commenced. Someone's hungry, and he says, well, I know I am. And I'm like, oh, so they're horny watching this. They're actually watching a porn here. This is what's happening here. They're watching a porn. They're getting off.
Exactly.
And then he said, well, if you ever need somebody to handle it, And she said, well, what makes you think you can handle it? And I literally said, there's absolutely no fucking way they're about to have a scene here. But the foreshadowing here. And I think, we'll take a second to talk about it. But I think it's just maybe the challenges of what Detective Jen life is outside of work. All she has is work. She's alone. She's clearly dealing with some level of PTSD, and she's also dealing with some mental health challenges as well, as we've seen her self-harming and breaking down, and we know about her story coming from the past. She's still a woman inside of this whole, complex system that doesn't really work for her, and she's in Detroit. But after that, with all of that, she can't even go home and get laid. So,
kind of works both ways with both of them in that aspect, because Brian is going through the same thing.
Fair.
Like his pursuit has only been Meech. He's constantly working. You got a son at home that you're constantly stressed out about. They keep getting the shoes taken in school, and in the end, I can't even get one off. And this is why they used to use it as an excuse back then that a male and a female couldn't be partners.
Right.
Because it was like the logic for some odd reason back then was, of course, them two would end up together.
Right.
And that's why this scene plays so well with one another, because again, as you said, technically they're watching a porn together. And both of them horny. What you think gonna happen?
Yeah. So Markeisha comes out and says, well, time to go. The time for the beds to go to kids. They said, well, wait, how come we can't go to your place? You have someone staying with you? Let them know about his baby mom and his kid. And all he's doing is providing for the kids. And she said, listen, I can't have strange men around my kids. Start to explain. So no hug, no nothing, just a handshake and a thank you. So things are rough right now.
Wait. I can have strange men bring my kids pizza and a $500 game system, because that's how much Genesis costs.
Here's how you get canceled right here.
And I can have this strange man eat me out as my kids are sitting in the tub, but I can't have you around them. Come on, man. What horrible type of mothering is this? Like it's too late at this point to say that. He been playing video games how long with this kid, and now you can't have strange. This is hurt feelings. You hurt that you couldn't come to his house, but in return, you had a husband. Like you can't be mad that he had somebody when you clearly had somebody. It's more like you expected him just to wait for you and him not to have nobody. Come on now. It made sense because that's the way women think. But it didn't make sense in the aspects of the show of people like, how are you mad about this situation here?
Yeah.
You're in the same situation. He couldn't come over your house because Boone was there. You can't come over his house because his baby mama there. What's the difference?
Yeah.
And she said when she asked him, do you love her? And he said, did you love Boone? Like, he did the right thing by throwing it right back at her. Like, we're in the same situation here. We're both like placating to these two individuals that we don't want to be with.
Yeah. And
we want to be together, but neither one of us have our game on tack to be together.
Yeah.
It was a funny scene. It was a truthful scene, because this is the way I would actually expect a woman to react to that news. Yeah. So I'm not mad at it at all. It was just funny that this was after she got what she needed from him, and then, all right, go on your way. Can't have strange men around my kids.
Yep. I'm gonna rush through a couple of things. You jump in there, things you want to add commentary to. We get, as I mentioned, Lamar going to see Monique introduced to his baby boy, the monster that's trained to kill in Blackie, and makes the comparison about foster care and being an underdog. We have Meech pulling up with a new whip. Everybody's happy. Terry gets sort of just checked. Yeah, by Dink. I was thinking of another word when you kind of like sneak up on somebody. God, what's the word?
Oh, that's a police word. Wait, that's not the word. Accosted is not the word.
It's like I can't even think, but it's like a word when you kind of surprise somebody like out of nowhere. It's going to come to me in a minute. And
startle?
No. But anyway, Dink rose up with Terry and asking about the product and how it works and whatnot. And Dink was getting the best of him. But anyway, came through and Meech jumped in and said he wanted his money back, but said that ain't gonna happen. But obviously that's the new product is in, and now there's questions about how this is working.
Was he questioning why crack wasn't as potent as cocaine? That was question. He said because we started out and then when we finished it was this little product. It's like, was you giving people like a brick of crack? Like,
Yeah.
I was confused.
But obviously,
how was he giving out the product?
Right, but obviously this is like a turn of the page here because this shows you that no one knows what's going on,
what to do with it, and how to sell it, and how once you rock it up, and how to break it down. And of course, it's not going to give you the complete high of cocaine, but it gives you hooked, which cocaine don't. You can just use cocaine all day, every day.
Yeah. Charles goes to see Mabel to cut it off. He says, "Listen, I'm sorry I came over. I can't do this no more. I want my marriage to work." By the way, I want to mention that by last week's episode, I think Mabel may be polyamorous because when they went to the party and homegirl grabbed Charles' butt, she had a ring, and then she immediately went back to her guy, and she basically said to Mabel, "Oh, we're gonna have fun with this one. I'm glad you brought him." So them peeping in the review recap. But I thought about it now. But yeah, anywho, she said you can't even look at me to say goodbye, and Black Diamond is, just sitting there trying to make it happen.
Did you switch that fast to Black Diamond?
This was a perfect time for the sound cue, the music cue, but they dropped the ball there. But anyway, Charles didn't even try to put on a fight. My man was on that couch going wild, like in them yams. He didn't even care.
Charles was like, "I'm gonna get more than 10 strokes in this time."
Yeah, right. He heard Black Twitter. He said, "Nah, I will redeem us." Brother Charles, you have redeemed yourself, my guy. You okay? You're okay. Back at the salon now, little sis is there. Want to know what her brother paid for. He said brother paid for service. Nicole said, "Y'all all the same." So obviously Nicole is understanding what's happening around her and sort of creating tension because Drugs is involved with everything around her. Anywho,
hair at the shop. This is not your shop. Don't even worry about it.
Yep. Hoop says, like, listen, y'all both act the same. You're stubborn and sweet, because we got the same birthday. He asked about, well, you think there's still gonna be issues with Dink, and says, like, nah, this dude folded on the first sign of trouble. That's not what family do. He said, man, I love this Lexus. He gives him the Lexus to drive and whatnot. Terry back at the hotel. Marquisha's gone. And this is where Detective Jen talks about using a relationship to manipulate them. Brian gets a call, says, "Is Kevin got to go?" She says, "Okay, just drop me off home." We'll talk about that in a second. PA and K9 at the spot, K9 spot. And things are getting crazy here because we found out some major news with K9, and K9 owes the Colombians $20 million and refuses to pay. This is completely suicide. And he said if they wanted to have to come get it in blood. Things are about to go crazy. As much as Meech talks about things are getting ready to go crazy because everything's coming together. We'll save that. We'll save if you got thoughts about that. We'll save that for a minute. B Mickey is basically talking to Bryant, says it's time to start looking for him and Meech are in the past. They're broken up. Somebody knocks at B Mickey door. Someone knocks at B Mickey door, and this is the easiest guess in my life here. It's obviously Detective Jen comes in and talks about, hey, this is my CI, Brian Mickey. And this is, I need to use this word again. When you kind of just, you appear in somebody's spot like out of nowhere, bombarded. Yes.
Bombarded.
Okay. Here we go. And so now B Mickey's like, okay, whatever. But, he has a job he needs to do. Terry and Meech talking about the Columbia Connect and talk about, man, this is the opportunity for them to get that connect since it seems like K9 is done with that. But also they say, hey, we can also try out a couple of keys from B Mickey and his medical grade stuff and see what happens. Terry, now back at home, can't find his belt, ready for family pictures. And she said, I want you to go because I want you to be proud of the family. Imagine if we actually did get the photo shoot and it's one of those awkward relationship photo shoots, like everything's going viral right now. I mean, they literally should have did that. And the show would have lost its legitimacy if they would have did that shit though.
Yes, that's why they didn't.
Lamar coming out of the corner store, two folks after him. He hides under the car, shoots both of their ankles, puts them down. And he's like, oh, Meech sent you after me. He's like, I thought so. Kills them. Listen, Lamar can't be touched. The dog sitting in the seat, sending off the alarm. They couldn't hear anything because of the dog. I don't know if this is a tactic that he plotted or it's just a convenience thing. But either way, Lamar can't be touched. You cannot. This is, again, much like much like Monique said, you can't try hood tactics with a hood dude. You got to try something.
Not
else.
At all. He knows every single one of them.
LaWanda is plotting something with her mother, as we talked about here, and say, what does your gut tell you and whatnot? And this is where she starts to list all the things that she got. And all I can say is I have no clue what's happening. We already talked about it earlier, so y'all can just let us know right now. What the hell does LaWanda and her mom got plotted here against them? Unless they're just trying to exchange this for money or evidence. I know what Detective
I would have said money up until she said, I have his brush.
Yeah, I don't know.
There ain't no money in that. Like, what the hell is going on with it?
They
better not make a witch doctor on this show next week. Is Detroit known for voodoo or hoodoo?
Hell no.
I don't think so.
Hell
so
no.
I'm confused, unless it's just to set them up.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody got a Scully in their neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, there you go. True. The detectives are out staking out the shop, the music store, and obviously because somebody's wired. B Mickey comes in wearing a hat, looking extra fed. Extra fed. Talking about I always wear a hat.
Nigga, you ain't had on a hat ever. Never seen you with a hat.
Like what? But anyway, he just, trying to show him how much he appreciate him. Talks about, listen, man, we got to connect. We're expanding. You good? You about to have your own territory. I'm making you a king. We good, bro. I love you, dog. Day one. I got this. What did he say he got? He got him burial plots. I swore up and down when this scene happened that this was a threat. Because he said, I got your mother one. I got one for you, her and Kato, and you could get one right beside him. If that don't sound like a threat, a clear message. I was confused too, bro. Definitely.
I don't think any of my homeboys would. Nah, don't buy me a burial plot because you sending me a message. I gotta kill you now.
Wow,
that's a hell of a message to send.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Detroit, so I mean, maybe they're in rare supply, and maybe it's a good gift. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. B Mickey starts to cry, calls him the Tito ass nigga, Tito Jackson. And then they start to have their moment about nostalgia, talking about the old times and whatnot. But anyway, he pulls off the hat, shows him the wire, and he points and let them know. They get out, they took the drugs, they come out with their guns because they say all they can hear is music. Not sure why that was the reaction. Anyway, B Mickey was told, like, listen, there's always a choice. As he tried to say he didn't have a choice, but like, listen, they took the gun, they're gone, they took the drugs. Detective Brian is completely upset about this. B Mickey goes to see his mom, says I left some money, I gotta leave town, and then he gets kidnapped as his lighter just conveniently didn't work. I didn't know what I thought was about to happen here. But yeah, and then after that, that's just it. B Mickey get kidnapped at the end. Lamar kills off the PA dudes under the shop. They tried to capture him.
And now Meech has 2 bricks that Bryant can't account for in the evidence locker.
Which makes him dirty.
Yep.
And
whoever gave him the bricks now, because at this point, you can't then go back to your captain and say, hey, we took it for an undercover sting and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Too bad you took it illegally.
Charles gets more Mabel. So the affair is up and running. Meech now knows about Terry and Markeisha. And Saki is gone this episode a lot. So last thing for you all, who do you all think kidnapped B Mickey at the end? Who do you think?
It would I'm almost 100% sure it would have to be Brian. Because that's not necessarily in Meech. I don't think that's something Meech would do.
Yeah, I
think it's Brian.
Yeah, and I think it's the 6 Mile dudes.
Why would it be the 6 Mile dudes though? Unless Meech got them to do it.
Yeah, because Meech mentioned about, and either that or it's the dude that they beat up. It's one of them. I think it's the 6 Mile dudes, and I think or Dink, and this is a form of retaliation.
Why are we leaving out the obvious? Or Lamar?
Lamar? Yeah, Lamar I think is the easy guess, but Lamar kidnapping? Nah, not his tactic.
Because it's not, but boy, is that a way to get Meech's attention?
Yeah.
So technically, all he would know is that's Meech number 2.
Yeah. Anywho, folks, that's it for tonight's episode of episode 6 of BMF season 2, our recap review. So many more shows available. The interview with Donna Rollins is available. More stuff coming next week. Y'all know the spiel here. Jump in the comments, let us know your thoughts about tonight's episodes, predictions about who you think kidnapped B Mickey, and all sorts of different things. And obviously, give homie a follow on IG. I think he does fantastic work. I'm gonna definitely try to reach out to him. It would be cool to get to interview somebody who loves BMF and the content in a way not like we do, but we still love the show. You know, he creating these reels that are just completely hilarious. I swear.
Big Go Bell. Big Go Bell.
The way how he brings Charles.
Big Go Bell.